Hi, my name's Graham Cowland and this is my beloved Alpine A110. This is a car that we've owned for about 18 months and spent some time looking for one because they are quite difficult to find, as you probably know. And in fact, the easiest way around that to source one of these cars is to join the club, the Alpine Owners Club. So this is in fact what we did do. So we got to know of this particular car via the club, and we found this car actually was residing in Belgium. But by the time we bought the car, it was actually in Jersey, because the guy who bought the car originally went over to Belgium, bought the car, and while he was there noticed there was a larger engine car that was owned by the same man in Belgium, but at the time it wasn't for sale. So he bought this car, whereupon he shipped it to Jersey. We found out that whilst he was there, he ultimately bought the other car he saw. Okay, so this was for sale. So we went over to Jersey, found this car and bought it immediately, because you've got to do that with these cars because they are so rare and it's quite difficult to find a car with a complete history, which in fact this car has. This is a road car as opposed to one of the cars that was, say, a client car that Alpine built, or was one of the ex-works cars. So it's essentially their base road car, which is a V85 with a 1300 engine in. This is a 1973 model year, and as I said, it was a base road car, which came with a 1300 twin-choked carb as standard specification on the engine, 4-speed gearbox, good for about 110 miles an hour. You'll have to convert that to kilometers, okay. Having run the car for about a year, we decided that we needed more power. So what we've in fact done is a conversion that's done with these particular cars, because it's also a rear radiator car as compared to, say, the bigger engine 1600, 1800 cars, where the radiators are in fact in the front of the car. But this is a rear rad car with a mechanical fan. So we wanted to try and keep the car, we wanted to try and keep it fairly genuine, so and fairly authentic to the way it was built. So we decided to stay with that, and we do a conversion, or it's possible to do a conversion on these cars whereby you use a Gordini head with a Renault block, and you can make more power. In fact, the original engine probably was rated at about 80 brake horsepower, whereby with this conversion, running twin 40 Webers as opposed to the original downdraft Weber, probably makes 120 horsepower. So we have in fact installed that engine, run that engine in, we've redone the suspension, we've got our own damper rates with Bilstein dampers, we've rewound the springs, I've had the springs rewound to a rate that I wanted, we've designed our own exhaust, and so on and so forth. So it's made it a far more tractable car now, because before, for instance, when we were out with other club members and we were doing rallies in France or whatever, it was really hard to keep up with the bigger engine cars, okay? So now we can do that a little bit, but we've only got a 4-speed gearbox in there still, so it means we're doing about 110 kilometers an hour at about 4,500 RPM, so that's not bad, that's a little bit better. Well, there's been several interesting experiences insofar that we've had to be traded back when we broke a valve. Best experiences probably are doing the French rallies, because obviously you take one of these cars home to France and it's like a prodigal son returning to its father, because particularly if you go into Dieppe, where this particular car was built, because it's a genuine French car, because there were some that were built in Spain under license, but this is a French car. So we do quite a few regularity road rallies in France with this car, and I guess probably experience-wise, yeah, they've been the best experiences with the vehicle so far, because the French are just so pleased to see the car. So yeah, that's been some of the best experiences. And of course, being at Silverstone here with you today is a good experience, because I'm allowed to talk about the car with you. So